Would anybody like to read a teaching to us from the recommended reading list on somdas.com? Anne, thank you. Welcome.
Hi. Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody. I'm reading from The 7 Steps to Awakening. And it's the bit that's written by Sri Annamalai Swami, 1305. Questioner. The outside world is a miserable, confusing place. There's not much going on there that helps us to remember who we really are. Annamalai Swami. Yes, you can say that this state of affairs is also Bhagwan's grace, Bhagwan's compassion. You could say that he keeps the world like this as an incentive to go inwards. This state of affairs sets up a real choice. If we go outwards, there are problems. If we go inwards, there is peace.
Thank you, Anne. If we go outwards, there are problems. If we go outwards, there are problems. If we go inwards, there is peace. If we go inwards, there is peace. If you think you are going inwards, going outwards, surely you are mistaken. There's a little nuance here. And I've just picked up the book myself and gone to the 1305. In Annamalai Swami's answer, he says, well, I'll read the question. The outside world is a miserable, confusing place. There's not much going on there that helps us to remember who we really are. Annamalai Swami. Yes, you can say that this state of affairs is also Bhagavan's grace, Bhagavan's compassion. You could say that he keeps the world like this as an incentive to go inwards. What? Now, this is quite nuanced. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Why is there this phrase, you can say? You can say. He doesn't say, yes, this is Bhagavan's grace. This is Bhagavan's compassion. He doesn't say, Bhagavan keeps the world like this as an incentive to go inwards. He doesn't say that. He says, you could say that this is Bhagavan's grace. You could say that this is Bhagavan's compassion. You could say that he keeps the world like this. It's the same point I just made to you now. This is from the Reality in 40 verses, again from the collected works. Reality in 40 verses, 40 verses on reality. Verse 4. This mirrors when Anne read Annamalai Swami saying, it could be said. Here, Bhagavan starts verse 4 with the word if, one word, if, at least in how it's written in English. If self has form, the world and God likewise have form. If self is without form, by whom and how can form of world and God be seen? Without the eye, can there be sight or spectacle? In this word, if. The teaching, if you consider yourself to be a body mind entity living in a world, otherwise known as a person, if you consider yourself to be a person, human being, body mind entity living in a world. I know that sounds cumbersome to say body mind entity living in a world, but it just is accurate in terms of a definition of what it means to be a person or a human being. Jiva. If you consider yourself to be a jiva, a person, body mind entity living in a world, and if you see the world as a horrible place, confusing place, then it's such a wonderful teaching to hear that this is Bhagwan's grace, Bhagwan's compassion. I say it's such a wonderful, it may not be, it may not feel like such a wonderful teaching, depending where you're at, but it could be a wonderful teaching to hear that God or Bhagwan has set it up this way, or you have set it up this way. So eventually you're forced to come out of this simulation. It's like imagine you set up a simulation. You thought, you know what? I'm God, I'm omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, but I'm getting a bit bored. Why don't I have some fun? Well, I can't have any fun because I can't be surprised because I know everything. I can't experience ups and downs of life because I know everything. I'm all powerful. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to metaphorically hit myself really hard over the head with a crowbar and give myself some amnesia and then pretend I'm a person and have fun and forget that I'm God. Have some fun because that would be a cool experience. And it's being experience to have if I'm omnipotent, omniscient, and the rest. But I don't want to be stuck in there forever, right? I don't want to be stuck in this experiment forever. I need a way back out again. Just like Hansel and Gretel leaving some breadcrumbs when they go into the forest. Thank you for that, Wendy. I need a way out. I don't want to get lost in this simulation because I need to, for it to work, I need to forget who I am. So what's going to happen is eventually the simulation is going to start getting very tough, very difficult, until I will start to want a way out. And at that time, I've arranged a program to pray to Guru and some teachings, teach me the way out. But ultimately, I'll control whether I come out or not. I'll decide. You know, if I want it, if I want to stay in for longer, I'll stay in for longer because I'm God. And if I want to come out, then I'll follow the teachings. I'll come out. This is a story. But when you think of yourself as a person, these stories can be very helpful. See, that doesn't seem so insane. It kind of makes sense. Oh, right, yeah, there's an exit mechanism that'll be triggered by my desire to leave. And eventually, the ups and downs. See, when you're very young, and you're naive, you're happy to have the downs because you have the ups. And you're not really thinking about the downs. But after some time, it's like, well, actually, I'm a bit fed up of these ups because they're downs afterwards or before or at the same time. Now I want to leave. Then you get the desire for liberation. The way it happens for each of us is unique within the story, within the dream. But just like Lance said in the comments, this body-mind world do not really exist. So we cannot, so it would be blasphemous, in Bhagavan's teaching at least, to say that Bhagavan has ordained the world to be like this. Because we would then be saying that there is a world. And we would be saying that Bhagavan has some interaction with the world, has some effect in the world. He's related to karma. I mean, karma. He's related to karma, and karma, both of which would be blasphemous in Bhagavan's higher teachings, because to suggest that Bhagavan could either be engaged with karma or karma would be saying that Bhagavan is a body-mind entity, which is blasphemous in his teachings. Of course, there is no real blasphemy. I'm just saying it's against his teachings. It's contrary to his teachings. So maybe I'm reading too much into it, but this is why I think Annamalai Swami is recorded as saying you could say that Bhagavan is, because that is to suggest that he is related to the world. Bhagavan is not related to the world, because he cannot have any relationship with Maya whatsoever. But, and we just have to listen to what everyone said about this wonderful teaching that Anne read to us. We can see how this lower teaching is so powerful, so helpful to so many of us when we need it.